Yes, okay. Hey everybody. It's good to have you here on a Thursday night in New York. Thursday night in New York. It is April 25th, 2024. And it's going to be an interesting one tonight. It's going to be very good. Been waiting for this one for a couple of weeks now. We've got a great guest. We actually have two guests in the studio tonight. You're going to be shocked. It's a shocking evening. And before we get to them, I just want to talk a little bit about what we have going on. Our main guest. Oh, he goes by so many names. So many names. But now he goes by Vincent Cade, which is his stage name. And we have to talk about it, wrestling. But don't call it backyard wrestling like I put in the title of tonight's show. Don't do that because you will upset the lifers. So we'll talk to him in just a little bit. And then we have somebody else here in support. You're going to like it. I also would like to thank my sponsors tonight, BlueMonsterPrep.com. If you're about to get into the indie wrestling world, you're going to need a lot from BlueMonster.com. You're going to need a lot of first aid. You can go get yourself a whole first aid cabinet from them if you wanted to. I don't know what else. AEDs can shock somebody back to life after they've jumped off a 3-story building into a pile of barbed wire. Anyway, there's so much more going on tonight than you'd ever imagine. And I'm excited to be doing this on a Thursday as we're starting to come in for a landing on another busy weekend, quite frankly. So there you go. Thank you, Blue Monster Prep. You can find them and all of our other friends on the affiliates page on quitefrankly.tv. Tomorrow night is Fleckus Friday, I think. We have some great things going on next week. Remember, I'm off Monday. It's Lauren's birthday, so going to do something a little relaxing with her or something. And then we'll back on Tuesday. And we've got some demon schizo stuff, patterning, gateway, all of that. Timothy Alberino comes back on May 1st. Brooks Agnew comes back on May 2nd. Vinny Brusco next Friday, sitting here with me, talking about his new social club he opened up in I think Larchmont or New Rochelle. Social club for men. I love it. And that's all we have. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, to my left, you know him as Matt. What's going on, Matt? You're making a Thursday appearance.
Hello, Francis.
How you feeling?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I think I'm really excited for tonight's show. And I'm happy that you're here too, because I knew I had to give you a couple of weeks' notice because wrestling is something that you love. Roughhousing is something that you love.
Indeed.
And I know that you like really saucy personalities, and
I got dudes at work like doing the punching and shit.
Yeah.
The other day at the end of work, like the whole back break room, everyone was doing it. It was awesome. And there was a stove there, and I touched the stove. I was like, I pretend I burned myself.
See?
It's pretty fun.
So then
Those are down like rock bottom and shit.
Oh, so
Mikey T.
You guys throw each other
bottoms.
around?
Yeah.
Good. On the concrete?
Nah, not on the concrete.
Yeah, well, you know what? This next guy, the guy right across the...
I'm too old for that.
The guy across the room from you, he's not afraid of concrete. Let's meet him, shall we? Everybody, here's Vincent Cade. Vincent, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Sorry, hold on, your microphone was off. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. You know, when we first met this kid, and he is just a kid, Matt. When we first met this kid, his name was DJ Bustanut.
Bustin' nuts.
Were you ever a DJ? Did you ever actually DJ anything?
No, I just mix really bad songs together.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be so fun tonight because the last time you were at our studio, it was at the old studio.
Yes, it was.
So we're talking at least 10 years.
We actually took my first legal shot on the air.
Oh shit! I remember you.
That's why I'm like, I know his face. I know his face. Bro.
I was there for that.
I know his face. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. It's been almost 10 years. That's why.
Holy shit!
Almost.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah,
that's come back to me now.
That's one. Yeah, we took my first on-air shot in the last studio.
Well, because when you started watching, how old were you? 15, 16?
Yeah, 15 about.
And then on your 21st birthday, you came to the studio. And that was the first time at the studio.
Yes.
And Matt, you were there already, so that had to have been around.
That
had to be after 2011.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wowee. Well, that's just that's something else there, man. That is. Well, this is going to be great having you aboard tonight. I want to hear the whole story because it's been a long time since we saw you last, and the fact that you've been in our lives since you were a young teen.
Right.
My gosh. I want to know all the things you remember that I've forgotten.
Oh, definitely.
Well, we got to get you closer to that microphone.
Oh, there's definitely a ton I remember. Like I said before we went on air, I remember Whack and Zane.
This is something, ladies and gentlemen, Whack and Zane. I haven't thought about that in at least 14 years or so.
Right.
There was this little, I don't know, duo of streamers that were trying to prank other people's shows. Correct. And they would call in every once in a while and they try to mix it up with me, Anthony, and Mike.
Right, and it would fall flat. They would like miss the point, and then it'd be like, all right, and then they'd just be like Whack and Zane after they were like, okay, but yeah, that was a good time.
They'd make fools of themselves, and then they would scream Whack and Zane,
right. like they did something.
And we started actually looking forward to them calling after a while because it was just funny.
Yeah, and then just at random it stopped, and it was just like, okay, well, whatever.
Whack and Zane.
Whack and Zane. Yeah.
We actually made a couple of friends back probably around 2008, late 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. We probably made a couple of, at least two friends, calling in other people's shows while they were alive, their streams while they were alive, and pranking them. We met that guy Henrik Kuto.
Okay. Yes.
We pranked him, and then we were like, we like this guy. And then there was these other two guys, these brothers, that were doing like movie reviews or something, and we gave them a hard time, and then we ended up liking them too. We always do that to people. Well, not anymore.
Prank calls at work. There's this guy that comes in and he sells cars over in that lot by the gas station where Number One Pizza was. Yeah, that's the same guy that's always there. I made like 2 or 3 prank calls to him, and he said something to one of the other guys at work, so it's starting to get to him
recently.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Matt's been getting back to his old ways.
Prank calls.
Jeez, man, I want to see some of this.
I haven't done a prank call in a very long time, and even then, I mean, long time. And I used to do it. Sometimes I would try to do it to get your guys' attention. It's like, hey, look, I'm trying to be funny, guys. And then other times, what did I do? I had my own show, Compton Ask Delgado. I'm not sure if you remember that brief stint of when my grandmother, R.I.P., my grandmother used to...
I was going to ask about your grandmother.
She passed away 4 years ago.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that.
Still cuts, still hurts, but But yeah, she used to be like my sidekick. People would really be like, yo, are you really cursing at your grandma like that? I mean, like, it's all right. She doesn't understand it. But no, I'm not actually doing that. It just looks like I am. But yeah, that was a period of time that I was doing that. I kind of mixed the two now that I'm doing the wrestling with the gimmick that I'm doing right now.
And we have a lot of timestamps of you doing your stuff here tonight. And I'm sorry, but in the title of tonight's show,
I heard
it's called Backyard Wrestling and Work-Related Deformities. So, just up front, backyard wrestling, this is not the approved nomenclature.
Correct. That is not the approved terminology. That is not the norm of today's terminology for what it is that we do. Now it is underground wrestling.
Okay.
And or independent wrestler, because at the end of the day, as long as it's in a wrestling ring, you are an independent contractor, and that's what this business really is.
Really?
Yes.
Well, see, that's really interesting to know, because I didn't. Obviously, if there was production value behind it, I mean, I see a lot of these things. These things still happen in settings that look like backyards.
Correct.
But so I just thought that there was that was it. You graduate when you find yourself a warehouse or something to set up in.
Right.
But it's not like
as
that.
Easy. No, it's not as easy.
Because of insurance, I'd have to imagine.
So here's the funny part. Here's the kicker. So in the state of New Jersey, it's exactly what you just said. Like, you can just have a place and have a ton of money, and now you're a wrestling promoter. As for New York, California, Pennsylvania, the athletic commission's actually very strict on professional wrestling there, but in New Jersey, it's not even a real sport.
Okay.
So you don't need permits and licenses. You could just make, your buddy sign a waiver saying that he won't sue you if he gets hurt, and you got a show with a bunch of guys.
That's it then. A waiver, a gentleman's agreement.
Literally.
And the other great thing is that when you started off, we got to get them. We don't
have to deep dive just yet.
No, to hell with this. We have to get started. Before we do get started, a couple of quick things I think you guys would think were funny. Actually, no. Let's just get started. To hell with it. I want to get into this. I'm really sorry to hear about your grandmother. No problem. Because, let me just say, fuck it. No, we'll get started in a second. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. See, I'm bubbling with things to say. We'll be right back with DJ Bustanut, Vincent Cade, and Matt.
It's enough to get me to the boiling point.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up.
Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life.
It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back.
Does anybody else want to stay?
Let's ride!
All right, ladies and gents. I had a couple of things I wanted to do, but to hell with it. Because I can already see that this is going to take up every moment we have. Yo, Bustanut, what is your... I'm going to keep calling you that
I know, and now it just brings back... I understand.
When was the last time anybody called you Bustanut? Nobody even probably knows that about you.
No, not a lot of people. I actually, I just shotgunned that story to my girl on the way here. I'm like, they knew me as Bustanut before anything that they knew me as now.
So if you hear this tonight, this is where it came from?
Right.
I'm sorry, girl. Okay, so Vincent, let me ask you this. What's your music? What do you come out to?
I come out to Lollipop, Framing Hanley, so that is the Lollipop remix, like by Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
But it's a rock cover of the song.
Lollipop, Framing Hanley. Let me take a listen to this.
What's your setup and finisher maneuver?
So my finisher is one of two. I do the tombstone, and when I want to be really, really classy, I do a spin with it before I land it.
Okay, a corkscrew pile driver.
Right.
There you go, right there.
This is why I said, Matt, please be here. Please be here this night.
I wanted to be a wrestler for years and years.
You still listen. There's always a foot in the
I gotta
door.
get back. I gotta get back in shape.
Hell, you could even be a manager, quote unquote manager.
I need to be a wrestler.
Be a wrestler.
Yeah,
right?
I need to
be a wrestler.
I like
be one of those Paul Bearer types.
I'd be like I'd have to be like an Arn Anderson type. But I would say things like I do wrong. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like a mindless enforcer.
Oh, I remember this thing.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Now, this is the theme song of The Sexy Beast, Vincent Cade. I have a catchphrase and everything, too,
What is your catchphrase?
Ah, you like that, baby?
Oh, wait. So you have different alter egos then? You said Sexy Beast, so is there another party?
No, that's just the prefix.
Okay.
The Sexy Beast, Vincent Cade, like as in Stone Cold Steve Austin, there's a prefix to who he is.
Got you.
I am the Sexy Beast, Vincent Cade.
Dude, this brings me back. Just this Framing Hanley version of Lollipop. I haven't even thought about this in forever. man.
You know, at one point, before I was using this, I actually came out to your brother's version of Look at Me Now, and I can't find it anymore.
Anthony's version of Look at Me Now?
Yeah, he did a cover that was really, really
Oh,
awesome.
I think I played the drums on that one.
Bro, I think you did, and I loved it, and I can't find it. I don't know where it is.
It set the charge, Look at Me Now.
It's like,
I caught a lot of shit from my Little League kids that found that one.
I'm telling you, I couldn't find it, and it hurt my soul because I wanted to come out to it. I want to use it.
Hey Siri, text Anthony Vincent. Where is the Set the Charge cover of Look at Me Now? Question mark. Is it unlisted? It's gotta be, obviously, because that used to be all over the place. I had a couple of kids on my Little League teams. One of them is going to be on the show on May 17th. Used to give me a lot of shit because of Look at Me Now. But I remember having a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, no, I loved that song. And I actually briefly used it while it was up, and some of my friends were like, whatever happened to that song, man? I'm like, you're asking me, I'm asking the same questions here, but I'm glad that I could actually ask the source because like I wanted to come back out to that song.
Anthony just replied, he says, oh god, yeah, I made that private.
Okay. Oh god, yeah, believe it or not, people liked it.
Bustina is asking about it because it used to be his original theme music and people miss it. Okay, so we'll see. Maybe we can resurrect it for you.
Please.
No, that would be fun.
Vincent Cade, right?
So, dude. So let's start off with this. When we first met you, obviously there was just a lot of randomness to the internet, Ustream, all that stuff.
Correct.
And you guys, we just met a lot of people through chat rooms at that time. Here's DJ Bustina. Here's this young voice that calls into the show, is just saying shit. He's having fights with his grandmother over the phone and stuff. She's speaking to him in Spanish. He's responding with, he's cursing in English, so nobody understands what's going on. But it was such it was still a very tender relationship, even though it was there's a lot of cussing going on. So my condolences, because that was like part of our introduction to you was meeting your grandmother too.
Right.
So you were around what? Around 2007. How old were you?
Jeez, I was born in 92. I'm not going to do that whole math, but let's say, yeah.
Something.
Right.
Matt,
how old was 13, 14?
No, he wasn't 13. So it must have been 2008, something around there then.
All I know... yeah. No.
Hey, Siri, if you were born in 1992, how old were you in 2008?
16.
Okay.
I found this on the web.
Yeah, she didn't tell me. Hey, Siri, what's 2008 minus 1992? This is how bad I am. 16.
Okay, so 16. There we go.
At most 16, maybe 15. I don't know.
No, I was definitely. I was gonna say I definitely remember meeting you guys around 15, going on 16.
So then let's talk about that here, because first of all, I'm just happy that you're here tonight, because you could be
likewise. I appreciate it.
Protesting in support of Palestine somewhere, but you chose to be here with me. Thank you so much for that. And also for all you out there tonight, because we're talking about things like wrestling, which takes a big physical toll on you. I would also like to open up the theme, whenever we do open up the lines, for anybody who has any work-related deformities. Okay? I want to hear from you. Do you have an arm, a forearm, that is bigger than the other one for a number of reasons? What is it? Do you have an arm that's bigger than the other? Not disability stories per se, but call in with how work has physically changed your body in a strange way. For example, like Matt and I, we have a friend who is like a world-class bowler, and he was talking to me about that for a while, because something like bowling is such a, it's not symmetrical. You're overloading on one side so much, you have to actually start training to make sure that the other side of your body is not getting completely thrown out of whack by that repetitive motion and all that. Then again, you're jumping off of garage roofs and shit like that. So there you go, work-related deformities. That's what I want to hear from when the lines go open. So
one guy at work is deformed.
With what?
The way he said
one leg is shorter than the other, and he actually has a linguini leg because he had polio.
Oh, damn.
Back in his country.
See, the linguini leg I've heard as polio leg, but or Biggie Littles, but still.
It only affects one leg?
He only had it in one leg. This was, I guess, in the 70s.
You can get polio in one leg?
I mean, he's got a deformed leg from it. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, there's something with one leg becomes like, I mean, less defined than the other, so it shrinks or something like that.
Well, I'm glad that he was able to get on with life.
Yeah.
That's
I was working with him Saturday, and something popped up on his phone, and he tried to show me it, and forget it, bro.
Anyway, well, that's from drinking all that raw sewage down in South America.
Oh, wow.
It probably.
That's it. That's really what it, the polio and DDT and all that.
Speaking of DDTs, no.
Oh, yeah.
That would be my finishing maneuver. One of
DDT?
my finishing maneuvers, yeah.
Wrestling has evolved so much that moves like a DDT.
It's not even nothing. You recover from it now.
Exactly. Like the super kick or sweet chin music, if you might know it. Everyone's doing it. Every 5 seconds, you just...
that's a good.
No one can do it better than Arn Anderson.
That's a good place to ask something there too. Is after all of these years, I mean, whenever I'm going through Instagram or something like that, inevitably I come across some ridiculous either moment in wrestling history or new independent wrestling shows around there where I mean, obviously they try to find something memorable to put together that goes into the absurd, of course, but is there, where do you really go to create new moves anymore? I have to imagine all the flying kicks and spins, they've been done before. So how are you finding new things to do?
Sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you're doing it. So basically, you can do, for example, a tombstone, like my finishing maneuver. The difference is the Undertaker's not doing it off a ladder.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like there's different norms in a wrestler of yesterday that they wouldn't take the risks we would, and vice versa. Like, for example, you wouldn't see a guy that nowadays would go up on the top rope that they're actually like 350 at most, but still 350 pounds and actually jumping off the top rope onto a smaller guy. You wouldn't see that back in the 90s, back in the, but
they will now?
Yeah. Dude. I see a guy every Monday night. His name is Ivar. He goes by Ivar. He's in a tag team called the Viking Raiders. His buddy, ironically, his name's Eric, and he's hurt right now, right? But he's been having matches lately, and he goes up to the top rope, and he has not been hitting this moonsault. And now I'm not sure if you're familiar with what a moonsault is, but I assume it's something acrobatic as well, like somersault. But this is a grown man going onto the third rope and backflipping and sometimes landing onto the person, but he's been missing it for the past 3 weeks, and it's amazing that he can at least get full rotation.
Really?
Yeah, to me, it's
Hold
amazing.
on. I found a moonsault compilation between 93 and 2001. I'll put it up on the screen just so we can get a couple of...
Bam Bam Bigelow, he did an okay one, but his was like sideways.
Vader.
This man, yeah,
Vader.
Vader's was great.
He was the best big man.
Let's see here.
Is that Vader right there? That's
Yes,
Vader.
it is.
Bam, bro. Big man Vader.
But you see, like, everyone has their little own zest to the sauce, and that's what I like about Ivar.
Dude,
there's some hesitation there.
He was not going to do a flip.
No.
That's the same guy. That's all Vader.
But that guy was so much bigger than the first one.
It might have been later in his career.
Well,
yeah, that's Big Van Vader.
Oh, all right. Wow.
Next to what you just looked up, look up the name Ivar, I-V-A-R. I want to see if you can at least catch him doing one good moonsault, and you'll see what I mean by, for a big guy, he can move.
Okay, hold on.
He just landed that one on the Macho Man.
Oh, yeah.
Ivar dazzles Kofi Kingston with an out-of-this-world moonsault. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Let me put it up on screen. Let me get...
Hopefully he actually does. Because that move, well, that's, like I said, that's a big guy. So that's pretty decent.
I got to wait until the last second there because this will get taken down on YouTube quickly.
Kingston
Hold on.
Still wrestles?
Yes. Can you believe he actually won the WWE title?
Yeah, I know that.
Briefly,
yeah.
and then Brock Lesnar took it from him.
All right, this is it?
Yes. Well, No, he has to go. If he's facing the other way, it is it, but this is not it if he's not facing the other way.
Come on, damn it. Turn around. Oh, they're saying turn around. The shaman is telling him to turn around.
Yeah, he has to turn around.
Here it is. Hold on. I'm waiting.
Yep. I'm looking at what you're looking at from the reflection.
Wait. And here we go. All right. This does... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, okay,
He's deliberately missing that move every week right now.
Like what do you mean deliberately? Why?
So they move out of his opponents have been moving out of the way every week lately.
Now, if the opponents stay under there,
they get hit with it.
Yeah, I mean, but is there any way to lessen the impact of a 300-pound person? No, you're just taking that.
Depending on the move, there is certain moves that you could get away with. For example, a senton or swanton bomb, you could actually put less weight.
I hope you're taking notes.
Put less weight on a guy if you're doing something like that, as opposed to a full. Because there's light contact and no contact, and full contact and light contact, and that's light contact versus a full contact move like the moonsault.
I mean, I can't, because I have to imagine there's no way to really, once gravity's doing its thing, what the hell are you going to do?
Exactly.
All right, so listen, let's start from the beginning. What do you remember the moment you found Zarauz in New York, our first broadcast? Like, what do you remember about the early days?
That picture.
Which one? This one up here?
That is embedded in my head. That picture is something embedded in my mind. That is Zadauza.
This is Zadauza.
That is Zadauza.
I'll tell you something about this picture right here. This was taken at a photo booth in Universal Studios, and there was a fourth face in here. We went on vacation. Me, Anthony, and Mike. We went on vacation to Universal Studios in Orlando. One of a few times we went out there, and we had a fourth face in there. Our buddy Matt was with us, and not this one. And we just simply we said. We just cropped him out. Like, hey, this would be a good picture of the three of us we can use for the radio show. And you're right. This was all of our marketing, because we never take any photos or pictures. So this is our marketing.
That's all you needed. That's all you needed, because that was the thumbnail for the before and after. When before Zidane was live, and after it goes out, that's the picture I remember. And then you guys started using the Z logo and everything. But yeah, that's one of the fondest things. I remember that picture before and after. I remember Mad Libs.
Oh, I want to do I'm going to do Mad Libs again soon too. With Matt, we would do Mad Libs on the show.
I did a few of them.
Yeah, that was good. Those are really good. We did Mad Libs, Crazy Libs, and we would just have the.
You also what was it that you called it? There was two things. There was the Book of Zidane.
Oh yes.
And then there was
the book. Wait, no, the book of.
No, it wasn't.
It was Mike's bit. The book of. I don't know. It was something so weird.
Yeah, I know, but it was a book. It was. I remember it was definitely a book of something.
I'll remember after we're done. Yeah, there's a lot.
Ajuja, the book of something.
Ajija.
I was gonna say. I'm thinking of the word. It was something weird. Yeah.
Gija or Jija.
Matt,
I think I remember Ajija. I was there for.
Mike made up some strange, weird sounding name, almost like it was like some kind of like jungle sacred book, and he would just open up a marble notebook and just start talking off the top of his head, and
it'd be a scripture though, like he'd read it like
as if he was giving you life lessons and life advice, but it would be the most incoherent bullshit, and it just felt good. Those are great. They really were great days. They really were, and then you have it. So you were never really a DJ. We learned about that now. Life's journey. Now let's just talk about when you found wrestling and you gave yourself over to it. What was that like? What was it?
Well, depending on who you ask and how I say it, it actually starts off really alarming.
Oh, all right.
So I had a friend who had a friend, of course, and he had a wrestling group. The only problem is I'm 15. I don't see anything wrong with it taking place in his apartment. But clearly my mother does, and it just doesn't sound right. But my first wrestling experience was in an apartment, like maybe a space, maybe 12 by 12, 14 by 14.
Damn, man, that's a small bedroom.
Yeah, if we're talking wrestling, living room, believe it or not.
Wow.
Right. And that's just the area we had to wrestle on. That's just the mat, but it was gym mats in an apartment. Excuse me. And that's what we were doing. We were wrestling every Friday or Saturday at this house in this apartment building until we started branching out. And then I didn't get into a wrestling ring until I was 18, because the first time I was in a wrestling ring beforehand, I was 17, and my mother was one of those mothers. She goes, if my son gets hurt, I'm suing you. And the guy's like, listen, kid, I'd love to have you. I like your attitude, but your mother scares the hell out of me. So
when you say listen, kid, you're talking about, is this guy like actually, pulling together talent for a league he started, or are these just...
he actually, so when someone like who I'm mentioning, they basically are a promoter that have their own almost farm, and it's their school. And when you learn necessarily at a wrestling school, the intention is for you to be one of their students to then be one of their wrestlers, or in WWE term, one of their superstars. But basically, I was going to this wrestling school, this professional wrestling school, and it had all the credentials, at least in the time and place it was in. The alumni that came from the school, it all checked out. The only thing that didn't check out was my mom's attitude, unfortunately, and the promoter, I guess, got scared off, because this is his investment, this is his business, And
so he was ready to sink money into you then.
Or
at least time.
Well, yeah, he was willing to train me, like I said, until my mother scared him off. So I didn't get to have my opportunity until a year and a half after, at 18.
Well, that's not that bad.
Yeah,
it's still very young.
Yeah.
So when you get in, when you're doing this, what are the first things they bring you through? The basics. So what's basic training for somebody who wants to be a wrestler?
Basic training is, in the most simplest terms, running the ropes, learning how to fall. If you mean in the literal term, basics, you get taught how to bump. That is what falling in wrestling is called. You get taught how to bump, how to do your bumps, how to run the ropes. And then, as gradually as you progress further into wrestling school, then you get intermediate classes, and then you get taught drills and things like that. And depending on which school you go to, it is almost like boot camp mixed with professional wrestling training. So you're running up, doing the steps or doing laps around the ring until you puke, sit-ups, the whole nine.
Hey, what did you think about that? Did you watch that Netflix series on the Ohio Valley wrestlers?
I caught pieces of that. I actually wanted to go to Ohio Valley Wrestling back in the 2000s when it was a farming system for WWE. Now WWE has their own farming system.
Gotcha.
It's called the WWE Performance Center, and that's out in Orlando, Florida. It's cool now, because if you wanted to, you could apply to it like it's a job. You put your headshots, you send them a promo, real name, stage name, in gimmick, out of gimmick, all of that. Send it to them. If they even look at it, they'll be like, yeah, we'll bring you out, pay for your boarding, and then you pay for everything else. You pay for it's either they pay for you to go there, you pay for your boarding, or vice versa, but something where you pay and then they pay, and then
you're going Dutch on things.
Yes, exactly, going Dutch. And if you make the cut, you have to move to Florida and do the whole farm system that they have there.
So did you ever have opportunities to leave New Jersey, or is this just a place where you wanted to keep yourself rooted?
My dream is more so to be a promoter than it is a wrestler.
Okay.
I want my own company, but I would like to be under the tutelage of these great people, these names. So if I could get in, however I could get in, I'm gonna get in.
Is that something you always wanted, or is that at this point, after about 10 years of really going hard with the performance aspect, is your body telling you I can't do this for much longer?
No, I think at the end of the day, I wanted to be the leader.
Okay.
I don't want to be the champion. I want to be the guy that makes the champions. I want to be the guy that makes the guy. You know what I mean? They came through me. I made the Hulk Hogan's and all these names that, I want to be the guy that makes the name. I want to be the next promoter.
He could be the guy that
I wanted to start remember years ago I said we should start a wrestling federation and have a show on the network once a week.
I want every and any part of whatever that is, whatever that looks like.
Dude, I would make it. I'd get back. I'd work out for that. That would give me something to fucking really work out for, and I'll get back in shape. And I'd like make.
I could get a bunch.
I
of
do
guys,
like maybe a couple months skit, and I don't want to win either. Like I like to lose. Like I like to put up a good fight, but I'd like to get my ass kicked more because that's what Ric Flair did. That's why I want to like Ric Flair. Like, dude, he lost way more matches than he won.
I'm actually one of those guys. I'm one of those guys that people
I want to sell.
I
want to sell the moves. Yeah, it looks funner than just
right.
Like
in beating someone up the whole time and winning every time.
I get what you're saying. You want the glory. You want to die a glorious death.
Yeah, of course you win like something big, but yeah, you got to keep a chase going.
Oh, dude, listen, I would do it. From a broadcast aspect, I would love to do that. I mean, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be involved in a performative way. Maybe from like a front office way. No, I can be a character, a front office character. But I'm not doing any of that shit. But I would love to have this broadcast on the
back
site.
Of the house kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would be like some kind of a Gavone gangster. I'll order a hit of a certain.
You could be my manager or something.
And it could be as cartoony or not as you want it to be. That's the cool part about wrestling nowadays. They give you more to work with. You don't have to be, too much or too little. You could hit what you want on the nose. They have the production value to do it. I'm not sure we would, depending on what we're going for, but...
Is the Macho Man elbow drop still a good finisher, or no?
Depending on how you do it, yes. Depending on how you do it, yes.
Well, you know what?
You gotta take into account that's a pretty big move for very little reward. You're literally mostly just throwing your body and back on to the floor from the top rope.
No one
just
could do it better than
just
Savage.
To put your elbow onto the man's chest. That's not.
Yeah, it is a little.
It's just a preference.
It is a little underwhelming.
It's a longevity thing.
Macho Man did it good.
Yeah, but Macho. You see, the elbow was attached to Macho Man's personality.
Yeah.
So maybe the simplicity of the move was bolstered by the fact that you had this larger than life personality doing it. Like Cade is saying right now. It's how you do it.
It's true. Because I always felt like the leg drop was the worst finishing move
Everyone
ever.
does. I mean, it's the most simplest move. And shout out to all my frequent wrestle goers. Not every wrestling move is a body slam. I want to get that out there. You ever hear that? Oh, he just body slammed him. Well, no.
Mad technicality.
Right.
As Dean Malenko, man of 1,000 holds.
Yeah, not every move is a body slam.
That's it. Please get it right, because I can't take the disrespect anymore.
Right.
Here's what we have to do, because we have a lot of footage over here that you've sent over.
Right.
You talked a little bit about liability, waivers. What about spectators? And when you are, like you said before, you're not really going to matches that are in warehouses or small theaters or anything like that. You're doing things that are a lot more intimate and in literal backyards sometimes, even though you don't want to have that define what you're doing in the ring. But what's your experience as far as spectating goes? Do you have what's the largest crowd you've been in front of, and what is the average crowd in your league like? Is it just girlfriends and it's just girlfriends showing up?
Oh, you mean like no. So some of these shows, hate to say the obvious, some of the shows that have better outcomes were because there was no one paying to get in. We got paid by the promoter that booked us, but the spectators, it's free. But because it looks better on camera, the more eyes, you could bring anyone. You could bring the dog even, you know. And after COVID, backyard wrestling was normalized as like the second or the other wrestling, which is why it's like almost like a whoa, chill out. Backyard wrestling, it depends who you're asking. What defines backyard wrestling as opposed to underground wrestling? But yeah.
So okay. So then, what's the largest crowd you think?
The largest crowd I've performed in front of, I want to say about 250. I don't want to be crazy and be like, oh yeah, like 500, 1,000 people. Maybe 250. And that's a good house in an independent world. In an independent, if that's like a school gym or something. Or if that's like a fitness center or an actual gym, you know, and you rent it out and put a ring in there. And, you know, the fire marshal says you got 300, but you fit 250 in staff, then there you go. There's your 300.
That's
right
still
there.
fantastic.
Yeah,
right.
That's pretty good.
250 is great.
It is.
You know, just being able to bring 50 to 70 people in, I think, would be a fucking home run. But, you know, because then, of course, that is just... It's the market. Is it mostly word of mouth, or you're getting posters up all over town?
So in my beginning days, that's how the young guys paid their dues. I pay my dues that way. Well, I did pay my dues that way. You get your posters, you get your tickets, word of mouth, staple a bunch of posters all around town, and they do their part in whether it's, you know, cyber promoting or in word of mouth, but it's a mixture of everything.
It's like man, I got so many more questions. Let's get into this. Okay, so the first video that you sent me, this was 2 years ago. Incredible steel cage match, Cade versus Gray.
Yeah, that was my first steel cage match.
Okay, so this is, you say, go to the 238
These are
point.
just clips of the match. I because I don't, you know, we're not gonna sit here and watch all of these.
Yeah, I got the timestamps over here. I just want to see what you're doing. So, what are you preparing for right here?
This, I am preparing to do a T-bone suplex into the corner turnbuckle.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. T-bone suplex into the corner turnbuckle.
Oh no! Oh no!
Whoa!
Damn. Matt, you got to do the...
Holy shit!
Oh,
right.
Couldn't get the W on that move. Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, so 5 minutes 52 seconds. You said over here. That was Matt, did you see that?
Yeah, that was a good maneuver.
If I do say so myself. All right, here we go. Over.
Oh no! Look at this!
Okay, so what is this? You're going back against the ropes.
I ducked the clothesline. I'm going to hit my lariat, which is also a clothesline. I call it the yeet.
Okay, is this when you throw your hands up in the air? I've seen you like you know, when you're going for clotheslines or something. Yes. You almost do a little bit. Is it like a signature pumping of the arms?
Yes, I'm like. So I got that. It's like, it's my own thing, but it's a mixture between like Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. They do this hobbling old man, like I could barely get to my feet gimmick. So that's kind of like my thing. When I get hit, I'm like, where am I? Put them up. Where are you? Where are you? So like fish out of water kind of thing. And then I hit the move, and then we hit what in wrestling is called the double down.
There you go. Jeez. You know what? I got to give the other guy credit there too, because the impact.
Oh, he did the flip. I just did the hitting.
That's what I'm saying. The impact. It's fantastic when he. So you duck it,
right?
And damn.
Oh my God!
What's crazy is we do that the second time. Right? You saw it. Yeah.
The nerves twitching on the.
Now,
I love it.
What's funny is the match was jokingly in the story was for merchandising purposes. If I beat him, because we're in the same group, he's the leader. If I beat him, I get my own version of the Bonnet Club shirt, and that's what I'm wearing right now.
Oh,
so I fought for this.
So that is a
Vincent Cade. Yeah, this is
keepsake.
a Vincent Cade one of a kind Bonnet Club shirt.
Damn, I want one of those shirts. My gosh. Okay, so that was. And who are you wrestling here? Because he's pretty great.
James Gray, and
right.
There's a couple of more little snippets in that match that are
621. Let's see.
Really
here.
Nice. I do hit one of my unorthodox finishing moves here.
All right, so there you go. He's riding your face right now. And
actually, that's not my face. That's
yeah. He's behind you.
Yeah.
So he's on your shoulders.
Yeah,
just like
chicken.
All right. Let's see here.
Now here comes the fish out of water again.
Holy shit!
Boom, there we go.
The flailing. Now let me ask you something about that, because you were what was it, right? I'm listening to the sound of the actual canvas here. Is it? I don't know. I'm just going to call it canvas.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound as bouncy as it does with.
It's not bouncy. So what it is it's wood, and then a mat about this thick goes over the wood, and then the canvas ties that all down. That's all it is. The ring is not soft.
So compared to the WWE,
spots, but the ring is not soft. Even in WWE, all rings are the same.
Really?
Yeah, and there's nothing that makes them bounce. It's the wood, because it's 16 pieces of wood or so spread along the ring, and that's what's bouncing. That's what you hear, and that's what you. Yeah.
See, I thought for sure that there was a little bit more give.
No spring, nothing. There's nothing. The only thing that's spring is the ropes themselves, but there's no springs. There's no extra padding that you would think is like, because people that never been in a ring think it's like a mattress. It's nothing like. It's not
I didn't
soft.
think a mattress, but I have been told that there's give, and I just didn't know if. So you're saying if somebody from WWE came and wrestled on this right there, they would have a similar experience what they get every night. Oh, wow.
Correct.
Okay. Here I am thinking that you guys are doing something that's more taxing.
It's literally, it's only taxing when you're legit backyard wrestling and it's not in a ring.
All right, here you go. Here is the 6-minute 58-second mark. What are you preparing for right here?
He is actually doing a move. I just wanted to show you how I sell the move. He's preparing to do a go to sleep, a GTS. It is a fireman's carry. Then he hops me over, and he's going to knee me right in the jaw.
And there's no faking that, of course.
There is, but I would like to show off.
Okay, here you go. Here we go.
Got him!
No.
I'm trying to protect myself, as you can see. And then
3 corners. Bonnet Club, baby! Knee to the mush.
That would have taken me out. Oh, but you're resilient.
Right, I am resilient.
Kelly Punk comes back. All right, 7:42.
I hope that's the end, because I definitely. Yep, that's that. Nope, that's not the end, but that's the falsie.
What is this?
What you're about to see is the falsie. It's the almost. I almost had him. I hit my finisher, and it was supposed to be, but it unfortunately isn't. But it almost is.
Okay, here we go.
Beautifully.
With a twist.
Yeah, spinning tombstone.
And that's when he ruined your bid right there.
Right, and then the final sequence you're about to see is him attempting to do my tombstone, and then I hit him with something that my friend and I like to call the coma. We named that move the coma.
This is the ending, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, here we go. So here's the coma right here, the ending of this match, then we'll go to the next one, because this is just fascinating, and I know Matt is loving it. So.
Okay.
James Gray.
Oh my God.
No, no, he's gonna do his own move to him. Oh no! No!
And that is why it's called the coma.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Some good.
Dude, listen. Okay, so I remember when you first called in to tell us that this is the stuff that you were doing, that you were getting into wrestling, and back then you even said it's like, backyard, it's all amateur. We do it because we love it and all that. Obviously, you were building a foundation of your, what you were going to go a lot farther with. And back then we said, dude, please be careful, because gosh, I mean, this stuff is.
I have not broken a thing, thank God. Even after jumping off of a roof. Knock on wood.
So what about what about people around you? I mean,
I've seen people almost die in front of me, but I myself have not. I've been good, and again,
knock something, man. The window pane behind you, jeez, right. Louise, man. Yeah, so because especially when it's going upside down, coming down head first, all that stuff. You think about jammed necks, you think about broken vertebrae, and the fact that you guys just bounce away from it and can chuckle about it is really something crazy.
I mean, half of it is us protecting each other, and we wouldn't put ourselves in the predicament if we didn't feel like they were safe enough to do the move. So if you see me going off the top rope to do something crazy, you bet your ass that's my buddy. We go way back, and he trusts me just the same way I trust him.
This is from 3 years ago. I see a lot of these. This is the 3-year anniversary show, Seasons in the Abyss. That's a Slayer album, right? You know that?
That's none. The content is of other promoters that I've worked for. So whatever they post, I just know that I'm on their platform. That's where you can find me.
So do you listen to what kind of music are you listening to these days?
Whatever is on the radio. I never really go out of my way to listen to music like I used to. But I just like most of the mainstream stuff, to be honest.
You never got into heavy metal? Never got pumped up to heavy metal?
But the wrestling group that I'm with, they like the heavy metal, and I listen to whatever I'm around.
All right, well then here, let's see this one. Now it's a sunny day. It's July 19th, 2020. Man, so you're doing all this during a pandemic. How was your pandemic?
Some of this was either post or whatever, but sometimes some of the footage before pandemic got posted after, and all the above. It's just, but this was in the middle almost, and it was fine. It was almost people that were living their life normally already.
That's right.
Didn't care. It was normal.
Good. I'm happy to hear it. Because this right here, right here is an act of defiance, just embracing life, saying I'm not stopping. Right. I love that. I wish I knew that you were doing this. We had fallen out of touch so long. This would have been really, really welcome entertainment. Because I guess I'll save these questions about streaming and all that for. I'm glad that you're recording them and archiving them, but I mean everything is live these days. We got to talk about that. Okay, so what are you preparing for with this one?
He's preparing to do what is called a sliced bread. He's going to run up a ladder and deliver the move to me, and I'm just going to sell like he just killed me with it.
Okay, here we go. Damn, and he broke the ladder, too.
Now, that's one thing.
Nothing can
when I wrestle, I want to hear the crowd either, holy shit, both these guys, or this is awesome. And I can tell you, and most of the videos I've shown you, you hear that at least, 3 times in the video. And I'm proud to show you that when the crowd that watched it live appreciate it as well.
Well, I'm looking at again, here is a backyard setting. I wonder what the neighbors think. Do you ever get neighbors complaining about this stuff?
Surprisingly, no.
Wow. Are they ever watch out their window? They love it?
Yeah.
I have to imagine, especially in 2020. I would want any kind of distraction.
I was so shocked because this isn't PA. This company's in PA. So I went, and they did not. The neighbors welcomed it. I was so, that was like a breath of fresh air, because usually in the, New Jersey, New York area, if it's in your yard, someone's going to try to get that shut down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. Let's see here.
This is a brain buster onto a steel chair.
So Matt, I want Matt to be doing some of these one day. So here we go. Brain buster onto steel chair. Wow. Okay, so that chair, you didn't buy it at Party City, did you?
No, it's a regular chair.
What?
We just know how they break, so,
So it's a regular chair?
Yeah.
You would go to Home Depot and get a regular... You're not going to a prop store?
No.
What about the chairs that we see on television and the wrestling there? It sounds like it's like an aluminum pan hitting people when there's...
There are chairs that are gimmicked for wrestling, and they're just called lightweight chairs. They're literally a folding chair, but they're almost like a butter cookie tin, like how you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. It just sounds like that, but it's just like a folding chair. It is a folding chair.
Well, now you got the broken ladder in your hand. What the hell's gonna happen now?
This one I'd like for you to just watch.
All right, here we go.
This is just wrestling antics.
Oh. Jeez.
That was completely safe.
There's the holy shit.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
You know what? In looking at that, I can see how that was probably safer than other times because the inside of
my head was in the ladder, and half of that was me setting it up anyway. Like I was gonna hit him with it, so to speak. He hits me. I landed on myself, so all he has to do is position me into the pile driver, and my head is not only not touching the mat, but the ladder is actually breaking my fall completely. There's no head to mat at all. And the following spot actually is the receipt or reciprocation of I can take care of you how you took care of me, but it still looks disgusting.
All right, here we go. This is 7 minutes. Yeah, I have to imagine that you have, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but you have a lot in common with a street magician. Or anybody who's taking an act to stage, and you have to think about a really clever way to make an object disappear, or to do something that seems in some way dangerous, but actually is actually
well,
very
professional
safe.
Wrestling originated in carnival times, so it was already like a sideshow attraction. So we already have that on the back of our head, like we need to keep them entertained in their seats or off their seats, and that's why I feel like and that's what I get out of it. I get adrenaline from actually doing it, but the payoff is I could do this for free. I just want the recognition, the fame,
I can tell.
You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's what I'm in it for.
I can tell.
The accolades.
Okay. Let's go. Well, let's see you return the favor now.
Yep. The receipt. First we got the low blow. And then we got a pump handle driver. Anything that lands on the head is a driver.
Yep.
He's dead. He's dead. Right.
He's dead. Oh my gosh. Well, thank God. But I again, from that angle, I saw that the head was safe in your lap.
Correct.
So.
And I have a dirtier angle where it looks like his head literally went in the ladder, and I love that angle. No one has that. I got to post that soon.
All right, a couple more clips from this, and then we're going to take a break for intermission. But this is the 8:50 mark. Let's see what you cook up over here.
He's about to hit me with something before.
Damn.
That was an angel's wings. That's what that's called.
And that didn't really screw your elbow up there?
That hurt me in the chest. He protected my face. It was supposed to hit my face.
Here's 9:58 mark. Let's see what this is, and then we have the finish coming up.
He's about to try to hit me with a light tube, a fluorescent light tube.
So do you do things like that?
I don't. No, I do not.
So this was an exception.
Well.
Oh, he's going to try to hit you with one.
Correct.
All right.
That's everyone there thought the same shit. They're like, oh, he's going to hit you. You're going to let him hit. And then they're like, oh, it was cool what you did, but oh.
Dude, because I'll tell you, I've seen these federations or what are these?
This is a kind of federation. This is a deathmatch company, actually. I was their exception. This was more of a hardcore match than a death match.
So do they also put together those matches that everybody gets insanely bloody?
Yes.
Because I've seen that. That makes me sick to my stomach.
You should come out sometime.
No. that makes me sick to my stomach.
Me too. I literally see these guys put syringes through the nose as a spot in front of the crowd. They'll bring the bloody dude. They'll be like, "You got $1?" And then they'll staple the single from your hand onto my man's forehead.
Bro.
Yeah.
See that we're getting past wrestling at that point,
Exactly.
And then it's sideshow freak macabre stuff. You know, like that do these guys on their? I would have to imagine that some of those guys on their off time are in New York City putting bike spokes through their arms and shit like that.
No, that's the weird part. Some of these people are your regular average Joe. Like some of these people are just a mechanic or a dishwasher or a pizza guy or something like that, and there's on their spare time they just like to beat the crap out of themselves and their friends.
I remember watching several movies about that, and even seeing this in the past, where they hide little razor blades inside of their.
Yeah. So nowadays the referee gives it to you.
What? If you got to cut yourself?
Yeah.
Dude, I would never be able to do it. Would you be able to?
I can't.
I would never be able to
for
do
the
it.
glory.
Oh my! For the glory.
You
can't
blend right in with them.
It took you 20 years to give
That's
blood.
in the vein. I don't. In the vein.
So you have to do it.
I'll cut my forehead.
Oh,
yeah.
Never.
And from what you're told,
You don't feel it.
You have to do it in the hairline. On the hairline, so you don't actually
hairline's already
see
kind of fragile.
the scarring that you're gonna leave on your head.
Dusty Rhodes didn't give a shit.
Yeah, no, he has lines
Yeah.
just everywhere. Well, had.
Yeah, but there's
R.I.P.
have you ever done it?
No.
You don't need to do that, bro.
My character, like the character I am, wouldn't let themselves be put through that, let alone me, the person, wouldn't let myself get through that. Which is why that spot was very meaningful, because, like I said, the guys around me, they're deathmatch wrestlers, and they know that I would not do that. I would not, The most I did last year was I went through barbed wire deliberately. That's the most I did last year.
And how did that leave you?
Luckily, I did something. I did a spear through the ropes. It's basically like a football tackle, but I just went through the ropes, and the only thing that got messed up were my fingers. I just stabbed 2 of my fingers, my middle and my index. That's the worst I left with.
Dude, when I see people rolling around on tacks,
I can't do
see
it.
Mick Foley.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those. It wasn't an every night thing for us, but especially when we were all hanging out at the teen center and shit, we watched a lot of those matches, even if I didn't know what was going on. It was nuts, and the bloodletting is something I just like.
Yeah, no, I'm not into the blood.
Let's get to the finishing.
These are the last few segments before, because
here's the finisher right here, because then we have to go on a break.
Okay.
So what do we have? What do we have coming up here? Let's see who wins. Hold on.
I was gonna say fast forward a little. Oh no, that is the finish actually.
Oh, nut shot. Dude, okay. That doesn't seem.
He killed him.
That was just based on my own flexibility.
You sell good.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Now you see what I mean. I wasn't tooting my own horn with that.
No,
People
you sell
literally,
good.
yeah. And the real treat, if we actually have time for that other one, the last one is my part 2 with him. That was our first meeting. The second one, can't wait to show you that.
Oh, we're going to save that for the second half. Don't worry about
it. That's perfect.
Don't worry about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed our little bit of... one thing I'm going to do with you you guys on the other end of the intermission, there was there's a mayor from San Jose, California, who in the middle of an interview or something on a street corner, this random dude shows up and tries accosting him, and his security steps in, and then there is like a tussle between his security and this random guy in the street, and it's pretty pathetic for the mayor. You can tell he's just like I don't know. But anyway, I want to go through this quasi street fight with you guys to see what moves you would use on the attacker to subdue the situation and to calm it down. So we have that and more on the other side. I invite you all over. I hope you've been enjoying yourself tonight, because we needed a little bit of a break, and I wanted to catch up big time with Vincent Cade. It's so great to have him back. We will see you on the other side. Thank you, guys and gals, so much.
The rest of the show is available exclusively at pilled.net. Follow the link in the description of the episode, get signed up, it's that easy. Or head on over to quitefrankly.tv, just press play. No paywalls, no censorship, no strings attached. So head on over, quitefrankly.tv, powered by Foxhole, and pilled.net.
It's intermission time, folks. Time out to press the like button. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to intermission.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, intermission. Yeah, intermission.
You are now entering, quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.
Watch Quite Frankly and stuff.
Quite frankly.
Quite frankly.